Just a couple of disclaimers before we start the video. This video does contain spoilers for the entirety of BFDI, so if you don't want to get spoiled on that, I advise you just don't watch this video, or at least not right now. Other than that, this video is mostly my opinion, so if you disagree with anything I say today, that's alright, as long as you aren't rude about it. Please don't be mean to me. I'd be really upset. So there is a video that I want to spend more than a week on doing for certain reasons. So in the meantime, I figured that I would make this wheel and it will just randomly decide what BFDI character I should talk about today. I put mostly everyone I've put on my own personal tier list, except Grassy, since I've already made a video about him. So whoever this wheel lands on, I have to talk about them. So let's see who it is. Oh man. Woody's a character that I tolerate, but tolerate in the sense that I acknowledge his existence from time to time and don't give it much thought. He was dead last in BFDI, then got 6th in BFB, which is a great jump between the 2 seasons he's competed in, but then you remember he's dead in BFDIA and dies in the first episode of IDFB, and since he was sharing his pre-split screen time with 64 other contestants, post-split BFB is the most we see of the guy. And guess what my least favorite season is? Okay, yeah, I don't want to talk about post-split right now, so hopefully there's anything else I can say about Woody before then. Dead last in BFDI, then he's dead in BFDIA and dies in the first episode of IDFB. Okay, yeah, this is great. So yeah, not a lot to talk about with Woody before post-split. He doesn't do all too much except be scared before his elimination in BFDI, and he never rejoined, so we barely got to see much of him after episode 5. This lack of screen time meant that I had barely any attachment to him, but the fact that despite being the 4th character voted out, he is dead last that's just something I find crazy. Like, poor Woody, man. Other than that, I've already mentioned he's been dead in BFDIA and died in IDFB, so all that's left to talk— oh, voice crack, Jesus. So all that's left to talk about is pre-split BFB, and yeah, he's not bad. One of the best members in BEEP, I might say. The writers do a few little things with the guy, like his DPL for Obasi in BFB2, throwing a ball into the basket for BFB9, killing Voldy in BFB7, and even winning the challenge for his team in BFB14. Nothing mind-blowing, nothing deep or whatever, but pre-split did a pretty nice job at making Woody more likable and allowed him to make bonds with other characters. BEEP was such a great team for him and is in general one of my favorite BFDI teams. Even if they lost a few members due to bias against a certain nickel. Woody also dabs in BFB. You know, just thought I'd point that out because I think it's pretty important. He does it a few times, so you know, I just thought. So we've had a season where he's lacking, 2 seasons where he's just dead, and the season where Woody's growing on me. So it looks like Woody's on the right track. Yes, I am aware that everyone and their mother has talked about how abhorrent and despicable post-split is, to the point where a lot of people say it's overhated. And while I can see that being true, I really do not like this season. Or this half of this season. It's easily my least favorite part of the series, and Woody, while not being a main problem, is definitely an example of something I just don't like about post-split. For that, however, I do need to go rewatch post-split to ensure that I know what I'm talking about, and you know, so like what I say in this moment is what I actually think in the moment. So if you just give me a bit. Yeah, I didn't like that. Woody's big moment in post-split, for me at least, would have to be BFB 21, where he absolutely gets furious at his teammates giving him a box as a gift. And this, admittedly, I liked this. Pre-split BFB had already set up Woody to be much more courageous than he was in his other competing seasons, and even if we ignore that, being given a cardboard box as a gift would be very insulting most of the time. This scene sets up Woody having to stand up for himself more to show his teammates that he is much more than a coward, and yet, what comes of it in future episodes misses the mark greatly. It starts in the immediate next episode in BFB 22, where we get to understand Woody for the first time, because apparently Woody speaks his own language, but then again, suddenly he learns English by the end of the season, so I guess forced just to master at gibberish, but that's besides the point. Because Woody supposedly does a prank which sets up Blocky and Woody's friendship, which is something that just shouldn't have happened. Blocky is a jerk. He does pranks. I get that by the end of the season, he's all done with that. But it would have made way more sense and been more interesting if Blocky just found something else to do after figuring out what he enjoys doing instead of doing this whole Woody's Fear Destroyer International thing. The only reason they get close at all to begin with is because Woody does two things Blocky considers pranks, both of which, in my opinion, don't make sense in terms of Woody's character. I'll give the second one the benefit of the doubt since Woody didn't want to get kicked by Flowers, so he threw Blocky in there as self-defense. But the first one in BFB 22, there is literally zero reason for Woody to have started joking in this instance. He's never been characterized as malicious or jokey ever. He was constantly getting scared in BFDI, and in pre-split, he actually helps his team out constantly. Sure, you could say that he was helping his team out in BFB 22, but after he does his prank, he tells the truth, like, just straight after it. There was no reason for him to do any of that. Then, for the remaining amount of episodes Woody still competes in, he turns into a funny doer, which, again, he has never shown any signs of wanting to be malicious whatsoever. And then, Lollipop, of all people, helps him realize maybe he's not cut out for funny doings. And while yeah, that's true, why is this something Woody has to learn? I know Blocky was already eliminated by now, but the writers were already having him do something and trying to find something else to do outside of funny doings. They didn't have to rope Woody into this because in the end, they just wrote him into a story that makes him act out of character. Wrapping up Woody's whole story in the season, BFB 29 does something that could have worked if the previous episodes weren't written so poorly, with Blocky finally finding a show he could support and Woody being able to help others overcome his fears the way he has. But not only have neither of these characters bonded in a way that makes them believable friends, but the journey to get to this point has fumbled both Woody and Blocky's characters so badly that I just can't watch it thinking it makes sense or is deserved in any way. Why is Blocky coming up with this idea? Shouldn't it be Woody, considering he's the one that's giving advice? It would actually be a sweet moment too, since Woody would be helping out Blocky by giving him a chance to support a new show instead of Blocky just making a show out of it immediately. Blocky, earlier in the episode, even tells Woody that they don't need to do things that Woody doesn't want to do. So why would he immediately assume Woody wants to make a show out of helping others out? Also, since when has it even been established that these two were good friends, like close friends? Obviously it was earlier set up that they had respect for each other, but they never were this close. Blocky just thought Woody would be a good successor for his prank show. Like this friendship feels so forced. What happened to Woody's bond with literally anyone else? Who are you people? Why are you acting like this? While I've definitely made it clear that I do not like Woody in post-split BFB, I don't let that season's faults hinder how he was written in pre-split. And yes, I know that that half of BFB has been hyped up to death now, but when your only other season at the moment is BFDI, where his character is just a single trait, I'll just take pre-split Woody as my favorite season for him. Does knowing what future lies ahead of him taint his time in that season? Somewhat, but I still find those good moments of his enjoyable anyway. So those are definitely the parts of Woody that I remember whenever I think of him, not the Woody Sphere Destroyer International stuff. If you enjoy Woody and Post-Split, then who am I to judge? I'm just here to express my opinion. Whatever you think is up to you, and if you disagree with me, then that's okay. Like, maybe someone could make me change my mind on Woody and Post-Split, and maybe that would make me like him more, but before that possibly happens, he will definitely stay as a character I tolerate and acknowledge from time to time. Oh yeah, I guess he was also in Teapot 18. He didn't really do anything, but he was definitely there. Well, it's been a while since I watched it, so maybe I'm just remembering things wrong, but yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, I guess. If you want to just throw in your own thoughts, then go comment in the comment section below. And I will see you all next time. Oh yeah, BFDI is coming out today. Yeah, BFDI A22 is coming out today. I'm recording this literally like the day before I'm uploading this. Isn't that crazy? Oh, that's so crazy. Yeah, that's absolutely insane.